this unit, we examine two issues which are on the minds of many managers: how to fund and how to secure information resources. We begin by examining the role of the IT organization and how IT is evaluated and funded. In particular, we review the business IT maturity model, which shows that over time, the capabilities of the IT department might not be aligned with the demands and expectations that business has from IT. This means that it is important for all managers to understand business needs and demands from IT, as well as the capabilities of the IT department. In other words, managers need to understand what to expect and what not to expect from the IT department. This understanding fosters a more productive relationship and even partnership between the IT department and all other business units. One of the tools that aids in balancing IT demands and capabilities is the use of a business case. A business case is a tool that enables a more structured dialogue between IT and business regarding the justification of an IT solution to a business need. By laying out all relevant information about an IT project, including financial and market analysis, managers are able to make better decisions about whether to invest in a project and how it fits with all other IT projects. To build a business case, it is important to identify both the costs and the benefits of investing in a project by applying metrics that are both observable, measurable, and quantifiable, and are expressed in financial terms as well as non-financial. Justifying costs by calculating potential revenue, payback, or budget impacts of IT project is now the norm of almost all IT investments. Typically, projects are evaluated using metrics such as return over investment, net present value, etc., which you learned about or will learn about in your finance and accounting courses. However, the challenge of evaluating IT projects comes from the fact that most benefits of IT investments are intangible. Typically, these are soft numbers, such as the increased efficiency of a process, improved employee morale, keeping up with customers' demands like communicating via social media channels or assessing a new business that can be gained with a new system. When building a business case and justifying the cost of a project, it is also important to assess the cost of not investing in the project. For example, in the Zara case, we talked about the cost of not upgrading the point-of-sale system, and in the Cisco case, we talked about the cost of not upgrading the legacy. Once an IT project is approved, it is important to monitor the investment and to ensure that benefits are obtained and that costs are controlled. Monitoring is typically done via balanced scoreboards and IT dashboards. These methods basically provide IT managers a way to understand how the IT organization performs and to what extent it supports the business. As we've seen when we talked about the ERP implementation at Cisco, projects need to be well planned and managers need to make sure that the project does not run over time or over budget, does not suffer from scope creep, or that it ultimately is not used as planned and expected. If users do not adopt a new system, then all the financial metrics that were used to justify the projects do not matter. In addition to justifying IT projects, managers need to understand how much it costs them to use information resources. Whether it is the cost of computers, mobile devices, licensing fees, etc. Each business unit is using IT resources to keep the lights on, and therefore managers need to understand and be able to control these costs. Information resources are typically accounted for in three methods. Chargeback is when IT costs are recovered by charging the users directly for their consumption of IT products and services. In the allocation methods, IT costs are lumped together and divided among business units based on a single unit of measure, such as the number of people, the number of logins, etc. Corporate budgets take all the IT costs into a single budget item, usually at a managerial level, distinct from any specific user or department. Each method has its own pros and cons and should be used in a way that best fits the organization. While funding approaches dictate the cost recovery mechanism of IT, calculating the actual cost is a completely different story. Three common IT cost calculations approaches are summing up all the expenses, activity-based costing, and total cost of ownership. Each of these approaches has its place in the business discussion, and often all three are used depending on the accounting question to be answered by the cost calculation. However, total cost of ownership has become an industry standard. It helps managers understand how infrastructure cost breaks down and provides the fullest picture of where managers spend their IT dollars. Not only actual cost of, say, hardware and software, but also hidden costs such as support, training, backups, and ongoing costs such as changing ink in a printer. Therefore, the numbers that emerge from total cost of ownership studies assist in decisions about budgeting and resource allocation. After gaining an understanding of the cost and valuation of information resources, we discuss what managers need to do to ensure that information resources are secured and are used responsibly and ethically. When it comes to the use of new technologies, it is quite common that laws and standards emerge only after there is evidence of misuse of the technology. It is therefore important for managers to assess information initiatives with particular attention to possible ethical issues, making reasonable judgments about what is right and what is wrong. The text presents three normative theories of business ethics: stockholder theory, which maximizes stockholder wealth; stakeholder theory, which maximizes the benefit to all stakeholders, including employees and customers; and the social contract theory, which is concerned about the value to society and incorporating areas such as green computing, dealing with privacy issues between people and government, etc. The text then discusses the importance of control of information, which can be summarized by Mason's PAPA framework: privacy, accuracy, property, and accessibility. For example, information gathered through normal business processes for management purposes can become the focus of legal action designed to protect individual privacy rights. Even if companies don't intend to share personal information, allowing accessibility can negatively impact individuals. With the rise of breaches and identity theft, the issue becomes extremely important, and managers must know what they can and cannot do with information stored in their information system. This is also true for the accuracy of information in the system. Clients and employees must have confidence that the information stored about them is accurate and that it is accessed only by those who should access the information. To this end, managers need to enhance the control of information resources by implementing governance policies and creating a culture of responsibility through education and training. The cases that we discussed for this unit provide a lot of food for thought about the role of management in managing information resources. We will examine how managers can protect information resources, establish monitoring procedures and governance structures so that the organization will be less vulnerable to system failures, misuse of information, etc. We look at what can be done to minimize vulnerabilities, whether they are internal, external, intentional, or unintentional, and what should be done if privacy or security are compromised or the information is under threat. We are all users of information systems, and our personal data is stored by financial institutes, government agencies, healthcare providers, and more. I hope that this unit will help you better understand these important issues, which apply both to our personal and professional lives. Thank you.